What up? Saf back again. Brian Saf, that is. This is the Talk and Play Blurredcast. Welcome back, everybody, all you blurreds and geeks and everybody else in between. Appreciate you for being here. If you read the title of this episode, then you already know what time it is. Sony PlayStation has done another state of play. March 9th, 2022. Over on YouTube is where that took place. They probably streamed it on Twitter as well. Either way, I checked it out on YouTube. Let's just get into it. I'm gonna play my theme music. We're gonna get into it. It's not very much. The state of play for March 9th was kind of short, and it didn't really give us a whole lot, but it gave me enough to get on here and tell y'all what I'm excited about based on some of them trailers. So I'm playing my theme music real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So yeah, like I was saying, right, March 9th, 2022, PlayStation did a state of play. This is quite normal. I want to say like every other month, every 3 months at least, we get a state of play, and they pretty much do what they did this go around, which is tell us what's up next with PlayStation as far as games are concerned. I believe in previous state of plays, they've gone over hardware and software updates and, just different things dealing specifically with the PlayStation console. But for this particular state of play, it's all game trailers, which, I ain't tripping about it. Some of these games I am impressed with based on what I saw in the trailers anyway. Like, it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting like any of these games. I ain't really go into this state of play with expectations, honestly. I didn't know what the fuck they was about to show me, but I pressed play on that shit and I found some games that I'm fucking with. Let's just run down the list because, like I said, this state of play was incredibly short compared to previous state of plays. So I had the time to sit through every game trailer that they packed in the state of play. And I don't know, I got some opinions on them, or at least these are the opinions that those trailers left me with. Starting with Exo Primal from Capcom. It's supposed to drop next year, which based on the trailer, I don't know, I might be interested in this. It's not a completely new concept, with the dinosaurs and shit like that, and you're like shooting and trying to protect and doing all this other stuff. Like, we've seen dinosaur games before. Jurassic Park has created quite a few arcade Jurassic Park games outside of their, what would you most likely call those kind of zoo tycoon type games that they have with Jurassic Park now. But that's neither here nor there, because I actually enjoyed this trailer, and I'm like, I might fuck with Capcom next year and get this fucking Exo Primal, because the shit looked kind of dope. It was a fresh take on this whole, dinosaur gaming genre. The multiplayer looks pretty cool, for what I could see anyway, because they didn't really do a gameplay trailer, but there was some gameplay footage in the trailer. It looks cool. I like that it's third person and not a first person shooter. That's going to be dope. I don't know what it is about third person games, but especially when they're shooters, they kind of give me like RPG vibes or whatever, which is always dope. I like first person shooters as well, especially RPG ones, which we have one next and I'm going to talk about. But I like the third person aspect, especially with this style of gameplay. Like, if you've seen the footage for it, you know what I'm talking about. The multiplayer shit looks dope. It being in third person looks dope. I like that all of these things are happening in this game. It looks like they got different exosuits and like type classes or whatever for you to choose from and customize and shit like that. I don't know. Based on the trailer though, it looks dope. Very, very interested in it. And I'm going to be keeping an eye out for it whenever Capcom decides to deliver another, trailer or official trailer or final trailer or gameplay trailer. You know, they do all kind of trailers up into these game releases, which, like I said, is supposed to drop next year. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye out to the YouTubes and checking for another trailer, because from what I saw in the state of play, I'm interested. Next game was Ghostwire Tokyo, which is supposed to drop March 25th, which is 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away. I like that this one's a first-person shooter, but not a shooter. It's just a first-person view. It's actually magic and not guns that the character was using, from what I could tell anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if they stuck a gun or a sword in there, you know, just based on the style of gameplay it is. But from what I saw in the trailer, they was using magic. That shit was fire. Looked like it's gonna be a pretty dope and compelling story. It's giving like anime vibes, kind of, which makes sense because it's a JRPG. But what caught my attention, this JRPG is in a style I haven't really seen before, which I'm excited for. I think I'm going to enjoy a first-person view or camera angle magic based RPG coming from Japan, and all of the creativity that those individuals possess when it comes to writing stories and lore for, you know, their characters and stuff. Like, the game just looks dope. I'm very, very interested in it. So in the next coming weeks or whatever, I'm gonna make sure that I have the ducat set aside for Ghostwire Tokyo, because I have a sneaky suspicion that when this game releases and I see, you know, some of my Twitch friends or just random Twitch people streaming it, and I check out some gameplay footage on YouTube, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I need to put this on my cart, go ahead and buy it and start playing it. Because I don't know, something about it, it just looks like super entertaining and super fun. I've never played a first person JRPG with this whole kind of magic battle component system. So I don't know, I'm intrigued. Ghostwire Tokyo looks fire to me. They also had Stranger of Paradise, which is a Final Fantasy Origin. That is the subtitle. The action in this game looks pretty dope. I'm not super like into the whole Final Fantasy lore and stuff. Like, I'm not a super Final Fantasy fan, so I don't know how this particular Final Fantasy Origin, quote unquote, which is the subtitle, like I said, I don't know how that really ties into the overall lore of the Final Fantasy world. But the gameplay footage, the shit that they show in that trailer, it looks pretty good. I'm not mad at what I saw. I'm very interested. It is another Square Enix product, which y'all should know at this point. Square Enix is one of my favorites of game development studios. Like, they put out all of my favorite shit pretty much. Anything RPG related dealing with Square Enix, 9 times out of 10, if I haven't played it, I will play it, or I can play it, and I'm pretty sure I know I'm gonna fuck with it. Because I don't know, for whatever reason, Square Enix don't mess with me when it comes to their games. If they're a part of it, I know I'm either really love the story, or I'm gonna really love the battle system, or I'm gonna love both, and I'm gonna just be a fan of the game. Like, Square Enix, they be holding the shit down. They're one of those development studios that I really fuck with. But I'm saying all that to say, I really like how Square Enix has like evolved the Final Fantasy gameplay over the years. Like, the whole combat system or whatever, I think we saw a turn maybe around PlayStation 3 era, where we went from like turn-based to like a free roaming gameplay of battle type combat system. I don't know. Either way, I like the way Stranger of Paradise fucking looks, and I don't know, they have a demo for it, so I'm gonna play that first, and if I'm fucking with it, I'll spend the bread on it. Because I'm in this like space right now with gaming where I'm starting to get a little, I don't know, not tired, just, I don't know, I guess tired is the word. I'm starting to get to a place with like multiplayer games where I just like, I want a break. I think that's the best way to describe it. I kind of want a little break. I want to get lost in an RPG again. Like, I'm not really like a book person. Like, I read articles like all fucking day. My fucking Apple News app, I'm on that bitch just as much as I'm on Instagram. Like, I like to read. It's just, I don't, really find the time for books. So when it comes to gaming or whatever, like RPGs and like games with backstory and depth and just the makings of something that'll make your imagination like run wild, like I fuck with games like that because, instead of reading, I get my stories and I get my imagination jogged by playing video games that are RPGs that have stories, like I said, or by, watching TV shows and movies or whatever. I like the gaming more than all of that though, because it's kind of like I'm playing a book. Like I get to be in control of the main character of a story and help them get from the beginning of the story to the end. And, it's a dope journey or whatever. So whenever RPGs come along that really, really catch my eye, I'm like, all right, cool. That's another kind of like book that I could read, or in my case it's another story game that I could play and just chill and vibe to somebody trying to spark some imagination within my brain as far as these stories are concerned. So whenever shit like Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin comes along, my motherfucking ears perk, my eyes wide, and I'm like, oh, okay, this might be the next one. So like I said, I'm going to try the demo, and then the next game chat that I do for the podcast, I'll probably have some kind of breakdown for you. Next though, which I'm very, very excited about, I already know I'm buying this game because when they announced it last year, I was like, oh yes, black girl as the lead character. It's not guns running around cutting shit up with swords. This lady got magic and she doing all kind of dope shit, walking in the air and all kind, like, the trailer was looking fire. They ended up pushing it back to October 11th, 2022. I'm talking about Forspoken, by the way, from Luminous Productions. But that's fine. I would rather them push their shit back and get all the kinks and everything worked out before they give it to me. Because if I get it and it's breaking on me and I don't fuck with the game simply because it's having so many technical issues, I'm going to request my money back. And I don't think they want me to do that for a game that is not supposed to make them any money past, oh, we sold you a game and that's it. Unless they decide to do some DLC. But outside of that, ain't no microtransactions. At least to my knowledge, going to be in Forspoken. So I'm pretty sure they want to deliver a game that people are not going to return. It looks fire though. Definitely, like I said, copping this when it drops. I was already hyped for the game, but this new trailer just like reinvigorated my spirit for it. I'm like, damn, Forspoken is coming out. I cannot wait. The story looks fucking good. The battle mechanics look amazing. Her abilities look great. I'm just all the way tuned in. I just had a whole little tangent with you about how I feel about RPGs and how they're like my version of books and how they bring me into their world. I get lost, have a good time. It's fun over here. Forspoken, it's probably going to do the same thing, and I'm excited for it. Can't wait for it to drop. Outside of that, they also debuted a trailer, or I don't know if this is a debut trailer, but it's the first time I'm seeing this trailer. So they also had a trailer for Gundam Revolution, which is supposed to be starting network testing this spring, which is pretty much, oh, we're going to go into beta, make sure our servers ain't shit, because this is supposed to be a pretty big, like, I guess battle royale, but not like, it's another multiplayer game. It has potential to be fire based on what I've seen in the trailer. It looks like they have Gundam versions from like all of the Gundam series in this game, which is dope because that means they'll have some level of customization there. At least they should. If they don't, then they at least will have enough Gundams in the game to where there's not a bunch of the same Gundams running and flying around the field. Like, there should be some diversity on the field as far as the types of Gundams and the kind of Gundams that you see out there. But outside of that, like, it looks like it looked like a Gundam version of Overwatch or like Destiny with Gundams, which I'm not mad at. Like that shit looks dope to me. I'm kind of interested in playing it. If it's gonna be free to play, I'm definitely copping it. If I gotta pay for it, then I'm going to scour the YouTube for some gameplay trailers, see if any of these Twitch streamers can convince me to buy it, because although I do fuck with Gundam, I'm not like a super huge Gundam fan to where like I have to collect all the games coming from this particular franchise. Gundam is an amazing franchise and anime series and manga and all that shit like that. But, you know what I'm saying? I am not like a super fan. I fuck with it, but I'm not a super fan. So, if I gotta pay for this game, I might have to wait. But, if it's free to play, I'm definitely gonna cop it, because if it's anything like Overwatch and Destiny or whatever, I'm gonna have a good fucking time on it. I seen some of the Gundams like sprouting the wings and flying around, and they had the old school Gundams in there and shit. Like, I'm excited for the different types of Gundams the most. I really like mech games, and I know Gundam just put out a game recently. What was it, XR or something? I don't know. It looked dope. I just never got around to buying it because I didn't necessarily like the overall game mechanics of it. But this particular game, Gundam Revolution, this looked like the one for me. Now, this next trailer that they had, I was like, I was a little on the fence about. This was where the state of play started to get a little lackluster for me, because we had like amazing games like Exo Primal and Ghostwire Tokyo and fucking whatever Final Fantasy thing that's about to drop, Forspoken, and then Gundam Revolution. But then we slide into Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, which I'm not hating on it. I'm just like, I don't see why this is happening outside of a cash grab via nostalgia, because it's literally a collection of all the Ninja Turtle games like pre-PlayStation and Xbox, like the first PlayStation, Xbox. All of these games, they either came out on like N64 or like Sega, or they were played in the arcade, which, like I said, I'm not like mad at that. I just don't see people playing these games like today. There's so much happening in the gaming world. I don't know how many trailers this is that I'm reviewing right now in this state of the play review, but it's competing with all of that on top of other games that are coming out this year, on top of games that came out last year that people are still, you know, trying to beat, on top of the Apexes and Overwatches and Call of Duties of the worlds and NBA 2Ks and shit. Like, I don't know. This is for a niche consumer, and I think they'll be happy about it, but I'm not necessarily going to be checking for this Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. Now, I will say, if they decide to, you know what I'm saying, put this on PlayStation Now, which is going to be just another addition to PlayStation Plus once, you know, Project Spartacus fully launches and really integrates into, you know, the PlayStation ecosystem. If they decide to put these games, you know, in there, it's like, oh, like a Legacy collection or a Greatest Hits collection, you know, or just some kind of collection that is like, if you pay for this tier of the new PlayStation Plus or whatever, you have access to this, then I'm not mad at it. I'm really hoping it does do that, just for the sake that, like, I don't see them making like a ton of money off of re-releasing all of these arcade and 64-bit games, but I'm not mad at it. I think, you know what I'm saying, get your money. It is what it is. I love nostalgia, so I'm fine with that. I just would rather this be like streamable. I could definitely see myself saying, you know what, I'm on stream today. I don't want to play nothing heavy, you know what I'm saying, like a RPG type shit, or I don't want to play nothing that's going to piss me off like fucking Apex or Overwatch. So let me go through PlayStation Now. Oh, look, Ninja Turtles right there. Let me just play that on stream or whatever while I talk to chat and just bullshit and reminisce about all the times I've played these games in like bowling alleys and skating rinks and arcades as a kid. I don't know though. I think they trying to sell it, but we'll see. Like I said, I ain't mad at it. It's just like, I don't know, I don't necessarily get it. Like, this made state of play, I guess, for advertisement purposes, yes, because I would have not known about this had it not been on the PlayStation State of Play. But I'm like, This is for a niche consumer, so I would expect it to be a part of a niche service and not something that you can actually buy. That's just my opinion, though. Moving on, though, we had Gigabash, which is supposed to come out later this year. It looks interesting. Sony chose to dub it as a fan favorite fighting game, making a beautiful return, which I've never heard of the Gigabash franchise or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? If it's a fan favorite, we'll see just how much the fans really fuck with it. It kind of reminds me of Rampage a little bit from back in the day, or like Godzilla versus, all them other big animals that Godzilla was fighting or whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's no relation there. I don't know. I don't know if this is a part of the series. I'm not even sure. Maybe I should have did a little Googles before I jumped on here and talk about it. But either way, it is what it is. If it's a free-to-play game, I probably wouldn't mind downloading and trying to wrangle some of my gamer friends into playing this with me, or doing like a party stream or whatever, where we all just play this shit over our various Twitch channels or whatever. But other than that, like, it's dope. But I don't know if I'm going to be paying attention to it enough to like want to buy it when it come out, because, I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of other games on this particular state of play that I'm far more interested in than Gigabash, even though Gigabash is not a terrible looking game. It's interesting. I just don't know if I'm interested. Moving along, we had JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, which is supposed to drop early fall. This looks dope. I've never seen the JoJo's Bizarre anime before, but oddly enough, this trailer makes me want to give it a try. Like, I've heard of JoJo's Bizarre before, and I probably could identify like one or two of the main characters if I like paid attention enough to somebody trying to ask or figure out if I know what the fuck JoJo's Bizarre is. But like, outside of that, I don't really know much about it, other than that it is an anime and that's what this game is based on. Based on the gameplay though that the trailer was showing, I don't know. I might give the anime a try, and if I fuck with the anime, then I'm gonna get this game. That's how I'm gonna process this, or that's how I process these kind of games. Whenever anime decide, oh yeah, we're gonna make a fighting game, or RPG, or whatever the fuck they decide to do, that's how I base it. If I've never seen this anime before, but I'm aware this game is based on an anime, then I'll check the anime out, and if I'm fucking with the anime, boom, I'm a new fan. I'm buying the game. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see if I like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime, and if I do, I'm gonna revisit this game because the game looked dope. Like, and I haven't played a decent fighting game in a while, or I haven't bought one, I should say, because the last fighting game I bought was pretty decent. DBZ Fighters. It's a really, really fire fighting game or whatever. Guilty Gear is also one that I just purchased recently that I really, really fuck with. But JoJo's Bizarre looked fucking dope. So I'm like, damn, let me check this out. The art style is like really, really fire. It reminds me of like the old like cell shaded DBZ games, the Tenkaichis, and you remember those classic Dragon Ball Z games that span from like, I want to say PlayStation 2 all the way up to 4, I believe. But either way, I'm fucking with the game. They said there's over 50 playable characters, which to me can either be dope or it could be overkill depending on the anime, really. Like, if all of these 50 characters have prominent roles in the anime, or at least have noticeable roles in the anime to where people would be like, oh yeah, it would be dope to play this character, then I can, get with it. That makes sense to me. But if it's a bunch of fucking filler characters in there, I don't know, that might be a little bit of a clusterfuck of just overkill and too much characters and movesets to learn. Cause like Dragon Ball Z has a ton of characters, but like every character you could fight with or whatever, like they've had a prominent role at some point within the entire Dragon Ball Z universe. So if JoJo's Bizarre is gonna, do it like that, which I'm assuming they will, because anime fighting games or fighting games that are based on anime or whatever, they tend to do shit like this, where it's a bunch of characters that you know them, you know all of them. So I'm thinking that's probably what it's gonna be. Either way, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna try the anime out, and if I'm fucking with the anime, then I'm gonna probably put this game on the list of games that I need to buy and play because the gameplay was looking fire. Another game that was looking fire from this fucking state of play, goddamn Trek to Yomi. Trek to Yomi, I think that's what it was called. Trek to Yomi, yes, which is supposed to be coming out spring 2022. It looks dope. I like the, black and white like feel of it. All of it is like very noir, very black and white. That shit was fire. It feels like you'll be playing like an old samurai movie. Like it looks like an old like kung fu or a samurai type film that you're just playing the main character of. The graphics look good for it to be a side scroller. It does look like it's like a short, quick 5 to 10 hour game or whatever, but even still that's dope because sometimes games like that, when they have short stories, especially the side scrolls, when they have those short stories that are like to the point, full of action, full of intrigue, full of shit that's going to keep you tuned in, they do tend to be short, which is not a bad thing because there's space in the gaming world for games that don't have incredibly long hours of playtime. And this, I think, is going to be one of them. We see the success of Sifu. I know these are not the same games, but they kind of, have the same style as far as they are games that are derivative of Asian culture. But I'm saying that because Sifu is one of those games that is kind of not like super detailed as far as graphics are concerned. And, it's not fucking Horizon, and it's not Assassin's Creed or any game that's like incredibly graphically detailed or whatever, but it is a dope game. It's to the point. It has a unique, storyline, a unique battle system, and just a unique game all together with the way that you play it. And I feel like Trek to Yomi will be somewhat in that vein, even though Sifu is not a side scroller. Based on the trailer that I saw in the state of play, Trek to Yomi definitely has the makings of one of those, cool side scroller games that's not going to be $60. It might be $40 at max, you know what I'm saying? And you play it, you beat it, and then if you really enjoyed it, you run it back and try to beat it another way. I'm interested. It looks pretty dope just based on what I saw in the trailer. Also, they had a trailer for Returnal Ascension 3.0 update, which is supposed to drop March 22nd. Now, I haven't played Returnals yet, so I can't tell you based on this trailer what exactly the update is supposed to bring, which is confusing to me because why would you make a trailer for an update without putting in the trailer what the update is supposed to bring to the game? I don't know. I guess they thought like the monologue and shit that the main character was, speaking as the trailer was playing was going to give people insight as to what is supposed to happen with this update. But I did hear, based on the little lady that was talking in between trailers, that this update is supposed to introduce a new survival mode. Again, I haven't played Returnals yet, so I don't know exactly how that's going to fit in and what other modes they have in the game. But maybe they will, as the release date draws closer, maybe they will drop another trailer telling people exactly what the fuck to expect from this 3.0 update for, Returnals Ascension. That is, maybe 2.5 weeks away though, so I don't know what they waiting on. It looks dope though. Returnals looks like a dope game, and the trailer for this 3.0 update put the game back into my awareness as a game that I need to purchase and play. So I guess the trailer succeeds, but I don't really know what the fuck this update is supposed to bring to the game. Outside of that, we had the Diofield Chronicles or Diofield Chronicles. I think it's Diofield. Either way, the Diofield Chronicle from Square Enix is supposed to come out sometime this year. It looks like a Final Fantasy style version of Fire Emblem, which I like that because Fire Emblem is one of my favorite turn-based tactical strategy games, and they putting this Final Fantasy ass touch on it, and giving it a new kind of story and shit like that. Like, I'm excited. This might be my next turn-based strategy game because, like I said, Square Enix is one of my favorite gaming development companies, and they are in this genre of turn-based strategy with they good old graphics and stories and character designs and shit. So I'm intrigued. I think this game is also supposed to release on the Switch. I might opt to buy it there, but based on the trailer, the shit is going to look good on PlayStation as well. So I really don't care. I just want to be able to play it in a portable sense because Fire Emblem has only been on, Nintendo consoles or whatever, and the Switch as of now is portable. So I just kind of want a Square Enix game that can compete. I'm assuming that it will make its way to Switch though, just based on the trailer and how it looks. Like, it doesn't look like anything the Switch can't handle. Like I said, Fire Emblem has been there, so I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm definitely intrigued. I'm gonna definitely, probably, most likely check this game out when it drops. Also from Square Enix, we have Valkyrie Elysium. I wonder if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, it is what it is. But it looks dope. It was giving me like Genshin Impact / Final Fantasy with like a dash of Kingdom Hearts because it had like a fire soundtrack. I was like, oh shit, this song kind of remind me of the Kingdom Hearts song. And y'all know what I mean by the Kingdom Hearts song. That's not the title of the song. But if you've played any kind of Kingdom Hearts game before or just seen the trailer for a Kingdom Hearts game, you know exactly what song I'm talking about. And shout out to that lady who sings that Kingdom Hearts song because classic. But this particular game, Valkyrie Elysium, it looks dope. The story looks very compelling. I was like, oh shit, what is they what they talking about? Like, what's about to happen next? This is looking interesting. I might have to play. The character skill set in combat looks pretty dope, which is always a plus there for me, especially when it comes to Square Enix. Y'all know I love the battle mechanics and battle systems that Square Enix tends to employ in their games. So I'm excited that the skill set looks dope, and I'm possibly going to be copping this one as well. Like, State of Play had a bunch of games, and then I was really, really interested in copying. Valkyrie Elysium just be the last of the trailers for this particular State of Play. But that's where the State of Play ended. Valkyrie Elysium was the last trailer. My final thoughts on it. Overall, it was okay State of Play. Like I said, a bunch of games that they put on my radar that I'm interested in at least, playing. Whether I get around to buying them and playing them is another story. You know how life be lifing and shit. So we'll see what the fuck happened. But I'm at least interested in a majority of the games that they show here in this State of Play. I think walking into it with no expectations was why I was one of the few people who was not mad at what the fuck happened. Yes, the State of Play could have been more than what they gave us, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm not really tripping about it. It is what it is. I think the fact that I like so many of the games that they shown was the main reason that I'm not upset with it. It's dope to me that Sony still, takes time to give shine and a platform to, indie titles and games that are not like the top tier games that everybody's expecting to hear about and just be completely immersed in the promo of until they're finally released or whatever. It's dope that the State of the Play shits kind of still happen because they don't really have to do this. They could just tell these publishers and these, gaming companies, put your own damn trailers out and what I'm saying, it is what it is. We'll make sure that you have a page in the PlayStation store to sell your game. Other than that, it's on you to market it. But Sony's not like that. They's like, yeah, we're gonna make sure we're gonna make sure our community knows what the fuck is going on. And that's pretty dope to me because a majority of these titles I had no idea were coming. And some of them are supposed to be dropping by the end of this month. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got some new games that I could pretty much get myself into if I feel like spending the money, that is. But I will say Square Enix had a lot to show off in this particular state of play. So I'm just going to call it now. Square Enix is going to be the next development company to join PlayStation Studios. I feel like that's a fair assessment based on the things that I have seen and read in the headlines as far as rumors are concerned. But this is not a game chat, so I'm not going to get all the way into that. But I feel like we're going to get an announcement from PlayStation Studios really soon about the acquisition of Square Enix, which is going to be another, industry shaking moment, because Square Enix has some incredible IPs up underneath its particular brand. It has created one of the most duplicated and the most highly revered RPG franchise of all time, in my opinion. I don't know a bigger, fantasy RPG than fucking Final Fantasy. I don't know a bigger RPG franchise. So if it happens, I'm going to be talking about it. Shout out to Square Enix though for continuing to create great games that take my money. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped for a majority of these games. Like I said, Forspoken looks really, really great. I'm glad that they decided to push it back and give it, the TLC that it deserves, so that they can give us a complete game. All of the Square Enix stuff looks dope. Capcom with this fucking Exo Primal game, that shit looks dope. I'm actually really, really interested in seeing more gameplay footage from that, because if it is going to be the next big or one of the next big, or just a game that is going to garner a lot of attention from those who enjoy multiplayer games, and this shit is going to be fun to not only play but to stream. I'm going to enjoy fucking Exo Primal if it is gonna be what I think it's gonna be. It kind of got a Borderlands vibe to it, but I don't know, it just looked fun, so I'm excited for that. Ghostwire Tokyo looks dope as fuck as well. I'm going to be copping that. I think that's gonna be a fun game for me to get into or whatever. I don't really do a whole lot of JRPGs, so when one catches my eye, I have to indulge, because it be some great storylines over there. I really be enjoying RPG stories and shit, and the Japanese, man, they don't let me down. So I'm down to check that out. And the Gundam Revolution game kind of giving me the same thing as far as what I was saying with Exo Primal, as far as a multiplayer aspect and just something to stream, and another game to try to find people to build a team with, and you know what I'm saying, climb the ranks and shit. I like stuff like that. When multiplayers have a section where it's here's something for all the people who just want to run around and be, stupid and just shoot shit and get eliminations and whatever. And here's, a mode for people who are really trying to complete the objectives of the game and climb and rank and be considered one of the, best players at this shit. If Gundam Revolutions has that, I'm going to be tuned in. One thing though about the state of play that I was a little let down about, because I did walk into it, not knowing what I was going to get or having any expectations, but I was looking forward to hearing some new information regarding the Hogwarts Legacy game. It was a rumor circulating over the past week or two that a new trailer for the Hogwarts Legacy game was about to drop, and it was going to have updated information about a possible release date and maybe give us a little bit more as far as what we can expect from the game. So when I seen that PlayStation was doing a state of play right around the time this rumor was circulating, I was like, oh shit, we might get some Hogwarts Legacy information out of this PlayStation state of play. Did it happen? No, it did not. But I'm assuming that the next state of play we will have some kind of information about Hogwarts Legacy, because the other rumor was that it got pushed back to 2023. But people who are working on the game, the developers and shit like that, they said that is a lie. We definitely dropping 2022. sooner than y'all think. So look out for that. Then this news about the fucking new trailer started circulating, and I was like, oh, okay, let's get it. PlayStation State of Play did not have anything for me though. So that's probably the only disappointment that I have for it. But that's not really Sony's fault. Whatever's going on with this studio that's making this Hogwarts Legacy game, it's probably on them that we didn't get the trailer yet. Looking forward to it though, hopefully at the next State of Play. That concludes my review of the March 9th, 2022 PlayStation State of Play. Like I said, it was pretty short. It didn't really give us any information about, any titles that we know are supposed to be coming this year, any popular titles anyway, other than Forspoken. Like, I feel like Forspoken was one of those ones that people are really, really excited for or whatever. So this trailer, this new trailer for Forspoken, I'm pretty sure people are excited about it, because I am. But other than that, we didn't really get anything. There was a rumor that, there's a new Sly Cooper game coming out, and there's a new Infamous game coming out. It would have been dope to see those in this State of Play. But like I said, maybe the next one. That's cool with me though. I'm not tripping. There was enough game footage and trailers in this particular State of Play, and I'm like, okay, I can accept this, and I'm ready to, at least play some of those games, get my hands on some of those demos, maybe buy a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like, they showed me a bunch of games that I'm interested in buying, so I cannot call this State of Play a failure. It was cool overall. What I'm most looking forward to from Sony though, information on Project Spartacus, or just go ahead and launch that shit. Like, we already see the reports, or I've already seen the reports that some PlayStation owners, their PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, have merged as far as what the console is showing and shit like that. So we already know, Spartacus is going to revamp PlayStation Plus and merge PlayStation Now into it and give us extra benefits and shit like that. I'm just really ready to understand exactly what the fuck I'm about to be paying for the rest of my PlayStation gamer life. So if we can get some information about that on the next State of Play, or just whenever, Sony, that would be great. But until then, I will catch the next State of Play to see what the hell is going on over there in Sony World. That is it though for this particular episode of the Talk and Play Blurredcast. Please join the conversation on Instagram and Twitter at BrianSapph. That's Brian Sapp, just in case pronunciation escapes you. Wherever I post, the cool graphic I'll make or whatever for this episode or whatever, just get in the comments, tell me about any games you like. I know a lot of you guys was not fucking with the State of Play, this particular March 9th edition, but it is what it is. Still plenty of things to discuss. But yeah, that's it. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.